All right, welcome back, everybody. Turning now to Detroit. Soon, Senator Bernie Sanders and Representative AOC Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez will be taking the stage alongside Michigan Democratic Senate candidate Abdul El-Sayed as part of the People versus the Powerful event. Also at the event, you just heard her turn up the mic, NewsNation's Mills Hayes joining us live in Detroit. Mill, I hear somebody on the mic behind you. What's the crowd like right now?
Hi there, Xavier. Well, the crowd right here is energetic. People are excited for all of the speakers here. We even spoke with some people who drove 3 hours just to be here today. And the person that's speaking behind me right now, that's UAW President Shawn Fain. He and the UAW have come out and endorsed Dr. Abdul El-Sayed. And this is all a part of the People versus the Powerful tour, where we will see and hear from progressives, Senator Bernie Sanders and Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who have come out and supported Democratic candidate Dr. Abdul El-Sayed. And we spoke with him this morning. He was there to greet a crowd of supporters that were getting ready to door knock for him, the key to knock on 50 doors and get out the vote before the August 4th primary. And with him was Minnesota's Attorney General Keith Ellison. El-Sayed represents a more left side of the Democratic Party, campaigning on abolishing ICE, ending U.S. aid to Israel, and getting corporate money out of politics. I also spoke with El-Sayed's opponent, four-term Congresswoman Representative Haley Stevens, on Friday. The moderate candidate agrees with her opponent that billionaires need to be taxed more, but she is pro-Israel and does not go as far as calling to abolish ICE or Medicare for all. The big test in this race: what direction do Michigan Democrats want their party to go? Does your campaign represent the future of the Democratic Party?
I don't care about the future of the Democratic Party. I care about the future of Michiganders, and our campaign represents that future. We want to get money out of their politics, put money back in folks' pockets, and pass Medicare for all. That's the future Michiganders need and deserve. That's the future we're fighting for. And I think if more politicians stopped thinking about the future of a party and started thinking about the future of the people that they represent, I think we make a lot better decisions, and we might actually find a future that the party needs and deserves.
It's a fight for. This primary race is putting the divisions within the Democratic Party on full display. This is a must-win seat for Democrats if they want a chance at taking back the majority in the Senate come November. Both of those candidates have railed against their Republican opponent, Mike Rogers, saying that he's really just a rubber stamp for President Trump, while Rogers had said that both candidates on the Democratic side have out-of-touch policies for Michigan. Xavier?
Mill, so you say this is a must-win for Democrats. Who has the advantage in the polls and with advertising as well?
Well, right now, those polls show a tight race. The latest Decision Desk HQ average of all of the polls does show El-Sayed leading. However, Stevens has gained some traction since that third candidate dropped out of the race about 2 weeks ago. The polls show that El-Sayed is leading with 43% of the support and Stevens with 40% of the support. But outside money has played a huge role in this race, with outside groups spending more than $40 million on TV ads to support Stevens or attack El-Sayed, while El-Sayed has received about $2 million in support. Bernie Sanders, who will be here today speaking, said that this primary race wasn't about El-Sayed versus Stevens, but corporations and AIPAC against El-Sayed, something that Stevens disagrees with.
Well, with all due respect to Mr. Sanders, I think this race is about my love and commitment to the state of Michigan and my eagerness to stand up for us at the lawmaking table. This is Gary Peters' seat, and there's a reason why Gary Peters endorsed me, to set the record straight, because I'm effective.
A big thing to keep in mind here is that Michigan is a swing state. President Trump won the state back in 2016 and in 2024, so some within the Democratic Party are concerned that it may be easier for Republicans to beat El-Sayed in the general election because he has more left-wing policies than his opponent. But of course, we will all see that play out at the primary race on August 4th.
Mills, so much at stake in a swing state. I got to say this because we watched you go from yelling because the crowd was so loud to then lowering your voice because the crowd got quiet. Mills Hayes, thank you so much. We appreciate you there in Detroit.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.